So again, quote, this is what you asked for. And so that's why Red Randy and Perlita, you want to be careful with your group there, Dave, about who you call, my dad an asshole, Red Randy, or, Perlita, the Navy SEALs or the firefighter pilots, assholes, the police officers and whatnot, because, or they're stupid. Understand? Because now, like I said, the military, all the branches, and the firefighters and police officers and the tech companies and NASA and the FBI, CIA, people who like to work together get to tell the story about you. Tom Serson, Jim Riley, Joe Zillig, Harry J. Race, Bernard LaChance, DJ Dave, Perlita, Quinn Wong, Elton Anderson, Don Wiley, Jim Hall, Bill Duvall, 1961 Oyster Cracker Man, as he sits there all supposedly like smart ass and spoiled. GPS Paso Robo, Rapist Night, Red Randy, Red Gordon, and Ellery's. They get to tell the story about you, Perlita, country and western Karen, about how infinitesimally dumb, multiple times Stanley and spoiled the group of you are, and how the All-American Antilla and Joe created all this mess 3 or 4 generations. See, they're basically created a mini I or an intelligence, but they get to basically follow your cowboy country and western Indian story, Bernard de la Carney. But they get to tell the story about how you guys do torture, face mutilations, made Bailey sick, made Kim sick, made my cousin sick, other girls sick, Pickett Street, Jamaica Street, those men's obsession. And then, like I said, they get to, you always got to think you got to get it first. You see, it doesn't matter, Bernard Lala Carney, if Brian and I were American or not. It proves how your theme and how you run things, how stupid you are for destroying everything in the first place before the All-American sit on his ass to cover up that he is the group of you were child rapists and abusers always in the last 35 years. And the Google Duncan story. You don't always want to be first to get the girl, and that's the way it basically is. So guess what? When you guys abuse the girls and manipulate them and pop, poke, click, and do all that shit with your LGBT rainbow clan there, Perlita, and then boasting about them stealing stuff, the military and the police and all them get to tell the story about how the groups of you move through. And then, the girls that, behaved and tried to do it the right way a long time ago and follow that, get to tell the story about how David Balamorad and the All-Americans and Perlita and Bernard's team, country and western, and the ghetto life of the Negroes ruined everybody's lives stealing shit and lying because they wanted to take a shortcut way. Send them to the Pentagon. And so, Red Randy, if you call my dad Greg Faust an asshole, or Jay Beswick, or Ron Miller, or Paul Puller, or Jewish Colonel Mel Kobe, or, Colin Powell, and the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and the President, and you guys don't know what you're talking about, Red Randy, like I said, they get to prove how stupid you are for running a lying little shit prison tank. And the Dave and them running around for the All-American, stealing shit, and how he's ran it with Karen and them 3 or 4 times in a row, making everybody sick, looking stupid, but he has this spoiled, pompotistical ego-ness. How do you win a war that way? Until a man, Oyster Cracker Man, in your city that you just sat around pouting and crybabying about how great you are, and then just ran a mockery. Get it, Harry, Joe, Bernard, Taco Joe, Robo Rapist Night. Now they'll be able, like I said, every girl that you guys go hover over, Harry, and manipulate to sleep with, they get to, those girls get to tell the story, but they also get to warn them about men like you, All-American, and how stupid you all were for tearing everything up in the first place because you're a bunch of hillbilly cowboy westerning sports carny of destruction for the LGBT fag rainbow. So now they get to also prove why you guys got, ladies and gentlemen, got fat, all this nasty shit, where the pokes come from, all of it. So be careful who you call an asshole, Red Randy, and stupid Perlita Jones, Quinn Wongs, Steve Jones, because you like to live the ghetto life of the gangster and run back and forth and steal people's shit, Dave and Perlita, Harry, Joe, And it goes back to you guys were super massive, abusive thieves that jacked it all up and lied anyway. So the military and the Navy get the proof. You guys screwed it up, Joe, in the first place. Country and Western 3-4 times in a row. Because the group of you think you can just do whatever you want and not have to follow rules, so they let you. And then we go, send them to the Pentagon. And like I said, the military gets to prove those of you who moved through destroyed a badass, nice setup for Bernard the little crybaby. Brian and Tom are American. It doesn't matter if we're American or not. Bernard, you guys took and raped and mutilated and run a torture tank and lied to everybody and make them live in misery because you're a spoiled rapist piece of shit fag. You're a prison fag, Bernard. When something's set in that's nice and decent, you always return to it for the All-American. So you guys get your answer. Get it, Bernard? Hippie? Dave, hippie? See, they show which the groups of you work together. Doug? And then, they find out who the hacker is sending their shit, their fake eye, Bernard. As opposed to, the military amassed enough information they could actually, and the police officers and firefighters in San Diego, Colorado, those who work together or throughout the nation and the world, probably have enough information to amass to fix the whole thing. But we have to deal with Joe Zillig and Karen Fausto, the Country and Western, and the All-American, and the Robo Rapist Knight, and the Barnum and Bailey Circus, and Ellery's, and Don Wiley, and Elton, and the Team Purple of swapping and switching and stupid. So they actually get to prove the group of you like to live in misery and forced everybody to live in it, opposed to a real reality that was 10 times better a long time ago. All-American. So wave that flag, Red Randy and your team. If you don't know what it means, it can actually be used against you. Same with you, David, if you want to wave the Israeli flag of the Jewish star, or the Spanish flag, Perlita, or you, Bernard, the French flag, or the German flag, or the Russian flag, or the Japanese flag. They show the groups of you's total massive abuse because of your spoiled egotist, the wild Westerner that came across and then went back overseas to kiss ass and lie. The English flag, Joe and Karen, the Italian, Italy's flag, the Korean flag, Joe. You don't want to operate this technology with that kind of hatred and racism and then sit there and blame other people, Joe, when they try to get it working with a kind of cool way. Because like I said, you guys had the badass set up in the right way before you guys allowed the, All-American to come through and rip everything up.